Hey y'all, this is Jamie and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be testing out some new makeup from the brand Essence. But before we get into that, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. Also be sure to give this a thumbs up if you like this video, if you like first impressions. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So Essence, I have talked about this brand before on my channel many a times. This is one of the least expensive brands that I've ever used. I think e.l.f., Wet n Wild, as well as Essence are kind of the most affordable makeup brands that are out there. And from what I have used of Essence before, I've used their Pure Nude highlighter, I have used a couple of their eyeshadows before, I've used their mascaras before. From what I've used, I really enjoy it. I think they're high quality products. I recently was on their website and I saw on their new arrivals page they had so many things to choose from, and I kind of almost created a full face of stuff from their new arrivals page. So I went ahead and placed an order. Everything is so affordable on this website and in this brand, so I ended up not even paying that much money for it. I thought I would go ahead and share it with y'all. Alright, so now that we are up close and personal, I was able to get like 13 products for, I think the original total was $62, but I did have a coupon code which took off like $12 of that, so I ended up paying I think around $48 for 13 products. I think it's free shipping over like $15, which is awesome. It came pretty quickly. Like, I was surprised at how quick this came. We are gonna go ahead and get started. Y'all know I typically like to start on my eyes, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. And I did get 2 eyeshadow brushes to try out. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids with the concealer that I got. This is the Camouflage matte concealer. It is supposed to be waterproof and tattoo covering. So I have a feeling that for my under eyes this is gonna be too light, but I like using kind of light concealers to prime my eyelids, so this might work out for that. So this is in the shade Light Ivory. It has an intense fragrance. Oh gosh. Sorry, that smells a lot like perfume. This eye isn't blending as well, so I kind of wonder if maybe this is a fast drying formula. So maybe you should just work with one section at a time. So the eyeshadow palette that I got to use today is the G'day Sydney palette. So they actually have quite a few that were like this. They also had a Paris one, which I almost got. So I have used one eyeshadow palette from Essence before. It was the Spice Up Your Life palette. I do have a video testing, reviewing that, doing a look with that. I will leave it up in the cards above if you'd like to go check that out. But this one looks a little different. So this is what it looks like on the front. It has a nice beachy feel to it. So we've got 9 pigmented eyeshadows reflecting the colors of the ocean and the rocks, including intense metallic shades with a high shine finish. On the top, we've got more of the matte satin shades. So these two right here, the darker brown shades as well as this bone shade right here, look completely matte. These two shades right here though look a bit satin. They have a bit of a sheen to them. And then these down here are more of your shimmer metallic shades. So right here you've got your very neutral everyday shades that are perfect for creating your base. And then down here we've got some really nice, very unique, vibrant shades that you can use to create a really cool look. We're gonna go ahead and go into this. So I'm going to use this shade right here. They do not have any shade names. I think the Spice Up Your Life palette did have shade names, so I don't know why they don't have it for this one. But this one right here is kind of a bone shade. I'm gonna use that to set that concealer that I just put on. So I did get a couple of eyeshadow brushes. So this one right here is the eye blender brush, and then I also got the short blender brush. So I think Essence is a German brand, if I'm not mistaken, because I follow them on Instagram and I see all of these products that look so awesome, but then they're never on the American site, but I think that they're on the German site. We have this one, which is the eye blender brush, is more of a fluffy blending brush. And then we have this one, which is the short blender brush, and it seems to be more of a flat crease brush. I'm actually gonna go ahead and use the short blender brush, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and I'm gonna put that in my crease. Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of that because it's so flat. I'm not a huge fan of using that for the crease. And we'll try and use that brush for something else a little bit later. So next up, I am gonna go ahead in with this dark shade right here, and I'm going to grab that with the eye blender brush, and I'm gonna darken up the outer edges with that. So I'm liking the shadows so far a lot. Not really liking the brushes though. And I don't know if I just need to find a different way to use them. They seem to be a little stiff. Not in the feel of them, they're not hard, but the bristles don't move with my eyelid as I would want them to. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use this one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that with my finger and put it on my lid. This is very buttery, very soft. So I'm then gonna grab a little bit more of that first shade that we went into on my fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to run that along the crease again and a little bit on that outer edge just to kind of warm that up a bit. I forgot to mention the eyeshadow palette is $9.99. You do get 9 shades in here, so pretty good. So we are gonna go ahead and move on to mascara. So what I got, excuse me, no, no. No! Babies, babies. Choco's barking at a little kid. Hi. Are you good? Okay, so I've tried several different Essence mascaras, love them all. I have not tried the Lash Princess though, which I heard is one of their more popular ones. And then I saw on their new arrivals list that they just had a waterproof version come out. I typically don't go for waterproof mascaras because they are a little difficult to take off, but I thought I'd go ahead just so I can try out the formula as well as the waterproofness. So I got the Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara in waterproof. So this one was $4.99. Most of their mascaras are $4.99. I actually really like the look of the wand. It's not too fluffy, but it's not too like prickly. Okay, so there is, after just one dip in, I really like the effect it gives my lashes. It does kind of make them look like false lashes. So there is a huge difference between me with mascara, me without mascara. To be fair, I have really blonde lashes, so there's a big difference with any mascara that I use. So mascara is applied. I did also go ahead and put on some brow gel. It is, what else? The ColourPop Brow Boss Gel in Blonde. So I did actually grab basically everything you need for a full face. I think the only thing I didn't get is a bronzer. They did not have a new bronzer. We are gonna go ahead and start with, oh, by the way, I did go ahead and put on some sunscreen. So I talked about this in my last video, my declutter video, that I've been using the Bare Republic Mineral Sunscreen. This one I use for the face. This one is SPF 30, and then I also have one for the rest of the body right here, which is SPF 50. So I've really been enjoying both of these. This one right here, so one of the things I hate about putting sunscreen on my face is that it feels greasy, and then if you start sweating or if you get, you know, in the water, it starts running and it gets all in your eyes. This has a very different texture. It's very velvety. It almost goes into like a powder, dries into a powder form. This one right here has a very coconutty vanilla scent to it, so that's amazing. It has more of a texture like normal sunscreen, but yeah, I've really been enjoying both of those. This one is resistant, water resistant for 80 minutes. This one is water resistant for 40 minutes. They're all cruelty-free, gluten-free. This one is TSA approved. They're also vegan, reef-friendly, and non-GMO, so I've really been enjoying those. I would highly recommend them. I had a really bad reaction to the Sunbum sunscreen on my face. My face got really red for the next like 2 days. I had really red cheeks, and then all over my face it was like very textured, kind of like small little bumps. You couldn't really see them, but you could definitely feel them on my face, which is why I went out and bought something else. I would highly recommend that sunscreen if you're looking for a sunscreen. We're going into July, into some of the hotter days of the year, the sunniest days of the year, so I would definitely recommend that. So I did decide to get a primer, mostly because they do have a glow boosting primer. I love having a nice glow. This is the Prime Studio Glow Boosting and Pore Minimizing Primer with Pink Clay. So this primer right here was $4.99. So I'm gonna take just a tiny bit, and it is pink, has a pink hue to it. I'm just gonna put that, ooh, it smells good. It feels nice. I'm just gonna put that kind of where I have the most pores, which is, I have huge pores on the tip of my nose. So we're mostly gonna focus that on the nose and bring it out to a little on the cheekbones, because this is a glow boosting primer. Yeah, I like the smell of that. It looks nice. I mean, I don't notice on the pores, but looks all right to me. So I did get a foundation from Essence. They have a new foundation. It is the Soft Touch Mousse Makeup. It is a matte formula. I'm not a huge fan of matte. Y'all know I love dewy, I love glowy. But I decided to go ahead and try this out since it was a new product. One of the not so great things about this, it does not have a great shade range. Essence has never really had a great shade range, so that's kind of why I haven't tried out any complexion products from them before. They do have 11 shades. This one right here that I got is in the shade 2, Matte Beige. It looks a little dark. So it's supposed to be the second lightest shade. It is a mousse makeup. So I've never tried a mousse formula before. I'm hoping that this works out. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my beauty sponge. I think that might be the best thing to use for a mousse. So, be right back. BRB. This is a mousse formula, soft touch mousse makeup. It says it's like a dessert. This lightweight creamy mousse foundation provides medium coverage for a natural and flawless finish. I honestly don't even know how to go about like grabbing this. So far, like if I put my finger in there, it just makes an imprint, but no product actually comes off. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and grab, this is a dampened beauty sponge. This is the Real Technique sponge. I am going to just grab some directly out. I don't know how hygienic that is, but this looks kind of dark. I really hope this isn't too dark because I think my concealer is too light, so that's gonna be a mess. And put that on the face. I'm not dark by any means, but I'm also typically not the lightest shade in a foundation. I have a feeling I would need to go a shade down from this. I don't typically wear the lightest shade in a foundation. I don't know about the shades. Not just the fact that they only have 11 shades, but the actual shades seem to be kind of weird. But so far I'm actually liking this foundation. It really is lightweight. I'm honestly not peeling on my face at all, which is the goal for me. I would definitely say this is medium coverage. I think right now it's kind of more of a light coverage, but I do think that I could probably build this up to medium. I think I could get away with this shade. But definitely if I repurchased it, I would probably go a shade lighter. So the Soft Touch Mousse Makeup Matte is only $5.99. We're gonna move on back to the concealer. So I'm a little worried about this concealer because I already thought it was a little too light, even if I had gotten the correct shade and foundation. But now since I've gotten a foundation that's a little too dark for me, I'm a little worried. So like I said before, this is the shade Light Ivory. Unfortunately, they only have 3 shades of concealer. So that's not great. Yeah, that's super light. So I'm just gonna put like a dot. I don't know that I would say this is full coverage. Maybe if I had put a little bit more on, but I was scared to use more since it's so light. Still am not a huge fan of that fragrance. I honestly could still smell it from my eyes, from when I put it on my eyelids before I even put it on my under eyes. I could still smell it from my eyelids. So it doesn't dissipate very quickly. I think that looks pretty nice. Downside, it's only 3 shades. So the next product that I got is actually a powder. It is the All About Silky Matte Fixing Compact Powder. This is in the shade 10 Translucent Rose. Both the concealer as well as the foundation are actually pretty matte. They have basically dried down, so I don't really want to add any more matteness to that, so I'm not going to put on the powder. I will definitely try this out in a later video. That one right there is $4.99. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to bronzer. I do not have a new bronzer from Essence to try out, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Lottie London Tan Time Bronzer. I do, however, have a brush. So I did get the bronzer brush from Essence. I like that brush, definitely. It's a little flat from the packaging, but I definitely think when it fluffs up a little bit more, it'll be a nice brush. I like it. It's nice and soft. So the next product that I got to try out, I did get a blush. I've been looking at their blushes for a while now too. I just don't typically wear blush, so I haven't been getting one. I decided to go ahead and get their Matte Touch blush. This is in the shade 40 Blossom Me Up. It's this really pretty kind of mauve-y shade. Yeah, I like that one. I think that's a really nice subtle blush because blush kind of intimidates me, so I like that one. This one was $3.99 as well. There we go. Found a good use for this. I like that a lot. I think that's a great way to kind of incorporate colors if you're maybe a little intimidated by using bright colors or different colors all over the lid. I think it's great to have kind of a more natural look up top and then put like a bright color or a very unique color along the lower lash line. Oh my gosh, I got that all over my contacts. That was a creepy look. Alright, so the last product that I have to test out is the Color Boost Matte About Matte Liquid Lipstick. They have this in 10 shades and it is $3.99. So the shade I decided to get is the shade 2, I Love You, Me Neither. It comes with a little squeezy tube, but if you open it up, it does have, it's not really a doe foot applicator, it's kind of one of those that goes like an hourglass shape. Ooh. Okay, so that shade doesn't really go with this eye look. I will say as far as the formula, it applies nicely, like it feels really nice going on. It's not my favorite though. It smells really good. It smells really sweet. It just doesn't seem to be completely opaque. It seems to be a little patchy. I'm gonna take this off, I'm gonna put something else on, and then we will wrap this up. Okay, so to give a quick little recap, we started off with the primer. So I didn't really notice anything upon first application. It felt nice, it smelled nice. It was supposed to be glowy. Now I did put matte products on over top of it, so you can't really notice it anymore. I will definitely try that out a little bit more. I might even try that out just on its own for a few days because I do that with a lot of primers. Onto the Soft Touch Mousse makeup. This I have in the shade 2, Matte Beige. It was a little bit too dark of a shade for me, which is weird because it was the second shade, but I actually really liked the formula. It was very lightweight, very easy to blend. It feels like nothing on the skin. I don't notice that I'm wearing any makeup, even though it does kind of look like I'm wearing makeup. Oh, I completely forgot to put on highlighters. So this is not something that I just bought. I've had this. This was one of the first makeup products that I ever bought, but it is from the brand Essence. This is the Pure Nude Highlighter in Be My Highlight. This is just a really nice, natural, subtle highlight that I really enjoy. She is coming out to play today. I feel like it's usually not that blinding. That's a lot better. So continuing on, for the foundation, we were on the foundation, so it was very lightweight. The shades are a little iffy. They only come in 11 shades, and the second shade that I got is too dark for me. It feels like nothing. It dries down, so I don't think you really need to powder it unless you just get very oily skin. Moving on to the concealer. So this was the Camouflage Matte Concealer. One big con for this one, it only comes in 3 shades. It also has an intense fragrance. It smells very perfumey. So if you are very sensitive to fragrances, probably skip out on this one. So I probably won't be using this much for an under eye concealer, but I did like it for priming the eyelids for eyeshadow. So that is what I will probably be using this for from now on. And then the blush, I actually really liked the blush. I think it's a nice subtle color. I'm not a huge blush wearer, but I think I actually will use this a little bit more. As for the brushes, so I did have 3 brushes. I had one face brush, this was the bronzer brush, and then I had 2 eyeshadow brushes. I had the short blender brush and then the eye blender brush. This one I think works well because it is pretty flat. It works well to do the lower lash line. This one I'll need to, I don't know, I'll need to use a little bit more. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Maybe I'll use that for the crease next time. This one though, I really did like the bronzer brush. I thought that it laid down product pretty nicely. I thought that it was a nice soft brush. Yeah, so I really like the bronzer brush. I think that was my favorite out of all the brushes. And then finally for the eyeshadow palette. So this again was the G'day Sydney eyeshadow palette. These are the colors right here again. So this is a 9-shade palette. I really enjoyed it. I thought that the shades performed well. They were pretty pigmented. There was very little kick up in the actual palette, so you're not wasting a lot of product. I thought that the color selection was pretty nice. So you have all of your kind of more natural shades up here that you can use to create an everyday look, and then you have some really pretty unique shimmer shades down here. So this is the shade that I have on my lower lash line, kind of close to my waterline. And this is the shade that I have all over my lid. I really like it. They're very buttery, so they have a really nice texture to them. This one actually I really enjoyed. This is what I use to put in my inner corner and on my brow bone. Really pretty and very pigmented. I would definitely recommend this. They do also have a few others. Let me see if I can find the other eyeshadow palettes that they had. They were very similar to this one in the layout. So they did also have a Hello New York eyeshadow palette. This one, the G'day Sydney. Salut Paris. I really enjoy this, and I think $9.99 for 9 shades. Very good price, very good deal. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Also remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit your notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. Let me know if you have ever tried Essence. It's one of my favorite drugstore brands, one of my favorite brands. But if I have not featured a product from the brand that you really enjoy, let me know down in the comments down below. I would love to try that one out. That is it for today's video, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, y'all.